up as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Tiger.
To throw on second is Watson. Underneath for Miller. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
A first down carry now for Miller. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Black 22.
Watson now to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Mariota. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Zach Cunningham in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. From the gun, Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's J.J. Watt, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. On
2nd down, here's Watson. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal.
Take 4, take back 22.
Now Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans will extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Buying time to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long here for Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a 1st down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the 1st down.
And now out comes Houston. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. Miller with a 1st down and more. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. Going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Watson making up for some lost time here in season number 2. He's got the Texans on the move with a first down.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22!
On 1st and 10, Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. But it looked like the Titans were able to recover, and indeed, they will keep possession of the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, Henry. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense as they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Come back, come back.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Richmond.
3rd and 2, Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Watson on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Rhodes. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, it's Watson. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Black 22! Black 22!
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
they'll run. It's Miller. Spins by. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down.
If he indeed got it, he didn't get it by much. This is a great push up front, but I think the nose of the football does make it over the line to gain. And whoa, that was definitely cutting it close.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
On first down, Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hey, black 22. Black 22.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come up an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Richmond, Richmond.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
Second half begins with a run from Miller. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Richmond, Richmond. Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
4 down, 4 down. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, Watson. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Jarrell Casey. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out, And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Going underneath for Lewis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down, Mariota. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that's going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Mariota eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And this one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Miller, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll run it again with Henry. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mariota. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Blue 80. Blue 80.
They'll run it again with Miller. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. He's got a man, complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 49 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Richmond. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Richmond.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Down. Green the line.
Again, it's Watson. This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys, because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And now out comes Houston. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Even. 4 down.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Again, it's Miller. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Boom! Yeah, baby.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80. Tiger.
White 55.
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. With it is Jackson. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, we got... Blue 80.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Four down. Check.
Again, it's Henry. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and forever.
Set. Wide 80. Like 55.
Mariota hands to Henry. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now out comes Houston. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And now running right through it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Down. Green the line. Green.
Here's a give to Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a handoff to Miller. Oh, the spin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Houston, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Titans, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. It's Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.